Hello, my dudes. Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We're doing a review today of an awesome little knife, the Civivi Mini Praxis. And we have the large Praxis here as well, one of my favorite budget knives. So, let's get into it. We're going to check this out. This came out pretty recently. For a while, they were hard to get. People were buying them up. This one was sent to me by my buddy Nate, and it's a giveaway knife. So he sent this to me for a giveaway on the channel, and so you guys will have a chance to win this pretty soon. So think about that while we're talking about it. You might win this, baby. First of all, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It says it right there. It's a good channel. I think you're gonna like it. So you can just go ahead and subscribe now. Why not? You know, follow me on Instagram as well, duties_daggers. That way you're all up to date on channel news. You see some cool photos. I'll be announcing live streams and giveaways and all kinds of stuff over there. So, the Mini Praxis. First, before we talk about the Mini Praxis, we need to acknowledge the full-size Praxis. This was my first Civivi I ever bought, this exact one right here. Now, the scales didn't come like this. I carved in them. It just comes with plain G10. So, this was not only my first Civivi, but one of my first knives ever. Now, when I say my first knives ever, I mean once I actually got into the knife world, which was like 3 or 4 years ago. Before that, I just carried random knives. I didn't even know much about them. But once I really started getting into the knife game, researching knives and reading reviews and starting collecting, this was one of the first ones. Everyone told me Civivi was an awesome brand for the money, you know, great budget brand, and I watched a bunch of reviews and decided on buying the Praxis here. I freaking loved it. I was amazed at how smooth it was. You know, before I always thought that you had to use 2 hands to close your knife. You know, none of my knives ever had fallen shut like that easily. And this doesn't even fall shut that easily. But back then I was like, oh my God, I can just, you know, unlock it, shake it down. It's like, it was crazy. Nowadays, that's like considered to be pretty bad action. What is Floki chewing up? That's just a wrapper. Okay. But back then, man, I was so impressed. And, you know, the ergonomics, the way this thing cuts, it's an awesome knife. And still to this day, I would recommend this knife if you want a larger work knife that's a slicer and it's very comfortable. I would recommend this knife. This one here is about 45 bucks now. The blade steel is, I think, 9CR 18 MOV, I believe. I don't even think it says anywhere, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 9CR 18 MOV, which, you know, it's fine. It's better than 8CR 13, that's for sure. It's fine. It's a stainless. This knife is extremely ergonomic. It really is. I mean, it just really is. Very comfortable. I do not feel the clip at all. And choked up even. Really comfortable. We have a nice finger choil here. This was the first knife I ever bought that I could choke up on. And this is really what made me fall in love with choking up on knives. If you know me, you know I like a forward finger choil. Just feels good, right? You feel nice and in control of the blade when you're up here. You feel like you're getting more pressure into your cuts. Just feels good. So I have never sold this. I keep it around. I don't really use it much anymore. I have so many knives that I don't really use it. But I keep it around because it's a great knife. Now, for a long time, you know, this has been out for a while. It was a very long time before they came out with the Mini Praxis because it was just in the recent couple months that they came out with it. It's the exact same knife, just smaller. No changes, except one, and I will mention that in a minute here. Besides the clip. The clip's different too. But let's look at, actually, you know what? Let's measure the full-size one first, and then measure the mini. So this is a pretty big knife. Blade's coming in at just under 3 3/4 inch, 3.75. The handle is about 4 5/8, and the overall length is over 8 inches, probably like 8 3/8. Pretty big knife. The mini here, blade is just under 3 inches. You can see it's like 2 7/8. The handle is about 3 3/4 inch, and overall we're looking at 6 3/4 inch, 6.75 about. But it's one of these knives that's small but feels much bigger in hand. Even choked back, I get a full 4-finger grip. But if you have bigger hands than I do, even you got the choke up area, and you're going to be really comfortable back up here. You can see in the hammer grip choked up, I still got a bunch of extra. I got a bunch of extra handle hanging out there. So that's great. This is a very, very comfortable knife. Not as comfortable as the full size, just because it's this one is so roomy. It's smaller, but as far as small knives go, this is really good. I don't feel any hot spots. This is just really nice. Let's talk about the blade. The original, one of the reasons I loved it so much was because it had thin blade stock, and it had a nice, almost full flat grind and a very thin cutting edge. Very thin, man. This thing is an absolute slicer. And they carried it over to the small one. You can see they scaled down the blade stock. So everything's scaled down. It's not like they kept the same blade stock and just made everything else smaller. They scaled down the blade stock. This thing is really thin behind the edge. We'll measure it here in a sec. I like this fat swedge up here. It's just big. It's nice. This is good. This is a slicer as well. This is a mega slicer. The blade on the Mini, you know what? I should have looked. I'm not sure the blade steel. These are both going to be listed down below. It'll take you right there. This knife is $30. $30. This is an insane value. I'm guessing the blade, even if it's 9CR18OV, $30 is really good, man. It's hard to find an actually really good knife for $30 anymore. You're usually looking at like 45 for a good quality knife. $30 is insane, man. It really is, especially for something like this. The flipper tab is comfy. You got jimping on the top and the back. It feels really nice. The detent is fairly snappy. It's not like the most snappy thing I've ever felt. Let's see if I can fail it. No, maybe not. No, I don't think I can. If I cheat a little bit, I can. If you put your finger kind of halfway off. But if you just put your finger all the way on and slowly push down, you can't fail it. Yeah, no. So, flipper tab, great. As far as the shedding action, couple shakes and it's going home, just like the full size. So, there you go. It's satisfying to flip, too. It makes a good sound. Lock bar access is pretty good. I've seen roomier ones, but that's definitely adequate room. They give you some jimping on there for grip. Same as the full size. Let's see. We talked about ergos, really comfy. This comes in different colors. This is the black G10. Now, they updated the clip. One of the main things I did not like about the full size was the clip, man. Let me let the dog out here. One of the main things I didn't like about the full size was the clip. Civivi used to use these clips a lot, and it seems like they're kind of moving away from it. The last few Civivis I've gotten had this clip, and I really like this one much, much, much better. So I'm very glad for that. This is the same clip that's on the Sikoke, I believe, and I actually really like it. It's shorter. It just looks better. It's not so much of like a abrupt upswing there. It's kind of a gradual one. I like it. It's deep carry. It's inset. We got flat-headed screws. All the good things you want on a clip. Man, this is just $30, dude. I mean, come on, $30. Let's measure the thickness behind the edges here. For a frame of reference, on the very thick behind the edge measurement would be like 28 thousandths. That's talking about like a Benchmade Griptilian or something like that. Something on the much thinner side of the spectrum would be something like, I don't know, the Baby Banter is like 14 thousandths. 12 thousandths is really nice and thin behind the edge. Even less than that. 9 thousandths is super nice and thin. Usually for an EDC knife, I would expect this to be somewhere between 15 and 20. So let's see where we're at. Measuring from in front of the sharpening choil, we have, no way. Okay, yeah. 15 thousandths, that is really good. 15 there again. 16 there. Excellent. 15 thousandths is great. That is on the thinner side of what I like to see on an EDC knife. Excellent, 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 excellent. I'm curious to see what we got on the full size. It's going to be thin too, but not quite that thin. Okay, we got 20 thousandths there. 20. 20. So 20 thousandths on the full size, 15 on the small one. So that's awesome. They even scaled down that as well, the thickness behind the edge. This is a slicer. I'll cut some paper. It's not going to prove that much, and I don't know how sharp it is. It's okay. It's actually, I forgot I did some cut testing with this. It's sharp. It's very thin behind the edge. I will put a nice edge on this before I give it away to somebody. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing slicer, as was the full size. This one has a nice edge. Very nice. So that's kind of it. You know, it's a very simple knife. You know, there's not bells and whistles. There's not anything crazy about it. It's just solid, and was what I liked about the full size. It was just solid. You know, the dimensions I loved, the blade size, shape, and dimensions and thicknesses I loved. Man, this is such a good EDC. If you want something a little bit more EDC friendly, and you're not looking for a big old work knife, this is such a good choice, man. Let's do some size comparisons really quick so you can see just how mini it is. Kubi Royal, bigger than the Mini Praxis. How about another Mini Beluga? Let's see, those are almost the same exact size. Very, very close. Very, very close to the exact same size. So if you have a Mini Beluga, there you go. Let's see, what else we got? CJRB Pyrite. Bigger. Civivi Lumi. There you go. Yeah, I'll do one more. One more Mini. Kaiser Mini Beglighter. That's actually, Mini Beglighters are a little bit smaller. So there you go. It's a small knife, feels like a much bigger knife. Excellent, excellent buy for 30 bucks. Just crazy. I'll put a link to it down below. It'll take you right to Amazon. If you do buy it from Amazon, I do get a little bit of a kickback from that. It's not much. It's a couple cents, but it does help out the channel if you want to do it there. If not, do whatever you want. I don't care. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Nice little quickie today. 13 minutes. Hell yeah. See you in the next one, dudes. Peace and love.